Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It is Monday, August 29th, and we are here trying to take the mystery out of your financial life. Now, the way that we do that is simple. We just ask you to do a tiny bit of work. It's so easy to do. Go to jillonmoney.com. That's our website, and you bookmark that site. And then anytime you have a financial question, anything that comes up, maybe you're listening to the show and something comes up, maybe you're living your life, maybe you get new benefits that are rolled out in your company, maybe you're switching jobs, whatever it is, the site is bookmarked miraculously so that you can hop onto it and click the Contact Us button, ask your question. Now, if you are brave, and it doesn't really take a lot of bravery, I feel like people know this now that it's not so hard. You say, I'll come on the show. If you click that box, Mark, best producer in the world, will do everything else. That's how simple the whole process is. So today we are on the line with Melinda, who's on the air with us from Florida. Hi, Melinda. What's going on? How can we help you out?
Hi, Jill. I am a little worried about my retirement savings. I'm a 59-year-old woman who is hoping to retire at 63, but with everything that's happened in the last year, I'm not sure that's going to be possible. And I'm kind of concerned about whether I have things allocated properly, my 401k, my IRA. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of hoping that you can give me some clarity about my prospects for retirement.
Okay, that sounds like a good game plan of let's just look at our prospects. Now, first of all, Melinda, are you married, single, partnered? What's your story?
I am completely single.
All right, footloose and fancy free. How much do you earn?
I earn about $58,000 a year, $59,000. Okay. I have a little commission. My straight salary is $54,000, but I do have a small commission.
All right. And do you work for a place that offers you a workplace retirement account plan?
Yes, I have.
How much are you contributing to your retirement plan?
I was contributing 15%. Now I'm contributing 17%. I added a little Roth 401k, 2% just this last week.
Oh, okay. So 15% is traditional and 2% is Roth, right?
Mm-hmm, correct.
And do they match?
They match 5%.
100% up to 5%?
Yes.
Wow, that's great. That's awesome. How much money is in that 401k right now?
In the 401k right now, I have almost 255,000.
255. Okay, that's fantastic. Now, you also mentioned an IRA. How much money is in there?
I have about 214,000 in that.
215 in that. And are you contributing to that as well, or is all the money going into the workplace?
Well, I'm trying to contribute the max of 7,000 to that.
You're putting away a lot of money.
I'm trying.
This is great. Do you live on your own? Do you rent? Do you own? What's happening?
I own my own home and I live by myself. I live with a couple of pets.
How much is the place worth?
I think about $370,000.
Do you have a mortgage on that?
No mortgage.
Wow. Any money that is invested outside of retirement accounts, like a brokerage account?
I have a couple of little brokerage accounts that total about $6,300 right now.
Okay. All right. And what about just plain old money in the bank, emergency reserves?
Yes, I have about $87,000 just in a money market.
That's good. That's great. Isn't it good to have a little little breathing room there, right? Are you entitled to any pension income?
No, unfortunately not.
No problem. All right. So let's do some Social Security numbers. Have you looked at what your benefit is at different times? Like, have you looked at, say, at 63, full retirement age? Like, do you have those numbers?
I do. Full retirement at 70. If I retired at 70, it'd be about $2,400.
Okay.
If I retire at 67, I think it's $1,848.
Uh-huh.
If I retired at 63, it was right about $1,150.
Do you like what you do? Do you hate what you do? I'm just trying to get a sense of where you stand right now.
Well, I don't hate what I do. Although my job has changed recently, it's become more challenging for me. The real reason I wanted to retire early is because I'm a grandma and I have 2 grandchildren. One is 5 and one is 6. And I thought if I wait till I'm 67, they're going to be 12 and 13 and probably won't want to spend a whole lot of time with grandma. So I thought if I could retire early, I could spend my time when they have a day off from school, going to the beach, going to Disney World, the movies, really, be active while they're young enough to really, enjoy that. They're at the prime age for spending time with grandma.
Yeah. How much money do you think you need to live on for real? Like if you had to really not like I could live on this little amount, but like what would you like to have in terms of income?
Well, I'm living on currently about $2,800 a month, and
20 you said 2800?
2,800, and I think I could live. I think I could live in retirement on about 3,500.
Okay. 3500 a month, which really does argue for working longer, of course, right? So, I mean, you're saving a lot of money, which is great. Do you have a kind of job where you could go part-time or reduce some of your hours? Could you go 4 days a week versus working 5 or 6 days a week, whatever you do now?
I've never looked into that. It might be possible, but I would certainly be open to a part-time job. In
I
return.
because I think the haircut that you take on your Social Security is really pretty dramatic. Even if just looking at that money between 63 and 67, it's a lot of money. I understand that you have that desire to, you know, I get that. I really do. So I want to honor that. But I also want to make sure that we get you in a place where you can do this because you're young. You're 59. So, I mean, you could live, frankly, for 35 years, and we got to make sure you have enough money to do so. And no one's taking care of you. You have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So that means that I really believe you are going to have to, I think you're going to have to plan on more like 67. I think that what I want to impress upon you is that you're doing everything you should be doing. You're putting money away into retirement. You're working hard. All of those things are good. But I do think that it would be better for you to work till 67. You know that you have that, that $1,850 coming in. You basically have half of your need met by Social Security. And then you have all this other money that will allow you to continue to live your life the way you want to live it. Do you have the opportunity to switch around your contribution to make it all Roth going
Yes.
forward?
Yes, I could do that. And that was a question that I had.
I think that would be a good idea for you because you're in a tax bracket right now, which is, you're in your top bracket is 22%. It's not, most of your money is taxed between 12 and 22%. But you're going to still have a bunch of money that you have in retirement that's going to have to come out because of required minimum distributions. And that's going to keep you in a high enough tax bracket that I think that it would be nice for you to have some money that's already been taxed.
Okay. Do you think I should convert the traditional IRA?
No, I don't, because I don't want to use up your cash. I love that money that's in cash for you. It's a good cushion. It gives you, like a couple of years of your need in the bank, and that's good. Flip it around and say, in your 401k, make that all Roth. Don't worry about it. And even in if you're feeling do you feel tight? And when you're putting this 7,000 into the IRA,
It does feel a little tight.
don't make yourself crazy with that. It's more important that you just put money in the Roth and in your Roth 401k. Even if that's 7,000, if you could do a couple thousand, stay in the habit is fine, but you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
You're in good shape. But I think if you're willing to work till you're 67, if something were to come up, if they said to you, gosh, would you make a little less money and work 4 days a week? Go for it and poke around a little bit. See if that's possible. But right now, I feel bad because I want you to do what you want to do. 4 years from now, when they're, 9 and 10, maybe we'll have different conversations. Maybe the world will be different. But for planning purposes, I think it is much better for you to plan on claiming Social Security at 67, which may mean that when you're 63, could you go part-time? Could you make some money? Could you do that? Sure. But I don't want you claiming Social Security till you're at least 67.
Okay. Okay. The only other things that I haven't told you is I do have some land in North Carolina. I spent in my family many, many years, about 40 acres. I don't really know what it's worth. I kind of would like to hang on to it, but I've thought about, possibly selling some of that. There is timber that's going to mature in the next 10 years that could produce some income from that land. So,
well, honey, listen, if you can make that happen, that might be your gap funding. In other words, if you said to me, hey, I'm 63, remember that 40 acres? I just got an offer I'm going to just make a number. I just got a $250,000 offer for that, and I'm going to sell. Then that could probably float you from 63 to 67. And there you have it. You're done. you should investigate that to see whether there's some options with that.
Okay. All right. And then the only other thing is I possibly could come into some inheritance in the next few years. I don't know. I haven't counted on that, but that is a possibility. So that might help.
Okay. So between the land and a potential inheritance, you stay in touch with us. Things can change. Like, I'm not pointing you in the direction of like doom and despair. I'm just saying that the facts as we know them today would suggest waiting till 67, using more of the Roth option for work retirement, and trying to at least get your expectations in line. That's what I think. And if the facts change, if the land is worth more, if there's inheritance and this all happens, then you get back in touch with us and maybe we can make the plan work better.
All right. I like the sound of that. Thank
all
you,
right.
Jill.
See, a little nice deep breath.
Yes.
Melinda, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. If you have some questions about claiming Social Security, and maybe it's a question about, where you start drawing money from, when you do that, like the claiming strategy game has changed quite a bit. It's actually not as inventive as it used to be, but these are good questions to keep in mind just in terms of planning purposes. And I love the idea that Melinda's not counting on something, but I also want to be clear that if your facts change, you can change your game plan. We just don't want you to hope for the best case scenario. We want to plan for what we think is the most likely scenario. And if something really good happens, we'll change the plan. That's great. We like good news too here. We really do. So if you've got a question, just go to jillonmoney.com, click the contact us button. Let us know if you'd be willing to come on the air. And while you're there, you check out all the great content on the website. We've got a blog, we've got a radio show, TV segments, everything. It's all there for you. Okay, don't forget to do something nice for someone else today. Grit, growth, grace. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.